He laughed in my face. Not politely, not awkwardly, but the kind of arrogant laugh that echoes in your ears long after it's gone. We were at the dinner table, surrounded by family, when my son-in-law casually joked, asterisk, old school brains can't survive in a digital world. Some folks are just obsolete. Asterisk, he was looking at me. The table went silent. My daughter gave a nervous chuckle. I didn't respond. I just folded my napkin slowly, excused myself, and walked out the door, but not out of the fight. Because what he didn't know, what no one at that table knew, was that the obsolete man he just mocked once built an encryption protocol so complex that a government agency tried to buy it. And I declined. What they also didn't know, I'd been homeless once. Sleeping in server rooms and abandoned offices after a failed startup took everything. The humiliation, the shame, I wore it like armor. People mocked me, called me paranoid, said my time had passed. But I kept reading, kept coding, kept learning, in silence, because sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. My son-in-law owned a mid-tier cybersecurity firm. Fancy buzzwords, slick marketing, nothing innovative. I'd studied his tech stack months earlier just out of curiosity. It was all surface, no soul. Full of third-party dependencies and outdated firewalls. So when he called me obsolete, I decided to show him just how obsolete I wasn't. I started by creating a digital shadow. Not a direct breach, no. That's sloppy. I cloned his company's internal environment in a sandbox, mimicked employee behavior, recreated protocols, and tracked every keystroke, login path, and security loophole. I found holes in their backend like Swiss cheese, lazy code, unpatched systems, exposed APIs. He'd built his empire on fragile architecture. It was only a matter of time. But I didn't bring it down. That would have been easy. I went further. I made an anonymous proposal to his competitor, a rival firm he'd tried to destroy with a smear campaign 6 months earlier. My offer? A full audit of his system, access to their vulnerabilities, and a complete acquisition strategy. All legal. All backed by a third party I'd quietly invested in years ago. Yes, I'd been buying into their shares when no one cared about them. The acquisition was pitched as friendly. My son-in-law didn't see it coming. One day, he was sipping espresso in his corner office. The next, he was handed a letter, majority shares transferred, ownership reassigned, effective immediately. He called a family meeting, accused everyone, begged for answers. He never even looked at me, until I stood up, handed him a USB, and said, asterisk, obsolete? Funny. This obsolete man now owns your legacy. Asterisk. Inside the USB? A timeline. Every flaw, every breach, every misstep. And at the end, a neatly packed folder labeled asterisk, how to actually build a secure system. Asterisk. He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. But here's the twist no one expected. I sold the company back to him. At full market value. After gutting it of its flaws, restructuring the entire infrastructure, and increasing its valuation by 60%. Why? Because I didn't want to destroy him. I wanted to teach him. That moment went viral after someone in the boardroom leaked the deal. Retired man outsmarts tech CEO, then gives him his company back. The internet called me the ghost coder. Interviews poured in. Podcasters wanted my secret. Tech blogs named me Revenge Hacker of the Year. But for me, it wasn't about the fame. It was about the table, the silence, the laugh, and the look on his face when he realized the person he dismissed had been 10 steps ahead the whole time. I still visit their house on Sundays. I bring dessert. We sit at the same table. But the difference? He pulls out my chair now. He listens. And sometimes, I catch him looking at me the way you look at a blueprint you never understood, finally realizing its value.